Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Brent here of Saint Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. In today's video, we're gonna rank the final seven games on the New Orleans Saints 2023 regular season schedule in order of difficulty. So, as many of you already know, there are 70 games left on the New Orleans Saints schedule. They're 5-5. They're on a bye right now, and if they come out and play a certain way, they can wrap this division up in a matter of weeks. That's if they come out better than what we've seen them in the past. You know, and I rank these games. You probably see these games on the schedule. You're probably thinking this is gonna be easy. This could be a cakewalk based on the situation, based on the other team's quarterback. But based on how the Saints have played these last couple of weeks, I mean, pretty much for the first 11 games of the season, first 10 games of the season, nothing's guaranteed for this team. So in this presentation, I'm gonna preview these games, quick little overview of these games and talk about, a little quick little scouting report on, the opponents the Saints are facing and just give a little some notions of what they're getting into. So without further ado, here we go. Number seven, Carolina Panthers. Now, I thought that in this rematch, the Panthers would give the Saints some problems, because I'm thinking that Bryce Young would be up to speed on, you know, learning a NFL system as a quarterback, but that has not been the case. Carolina Panthers have only won one game this season and have lost all their other games this season, this 2023 season, and they'll fall behind. They're in last place in the NFC South. So, but in that first game, the Saints didn't blow them out. The Saints didn't blow them out in that first game. So this is what I'm talking about when the Saints play down to these mediocre teams. And last time I checked, Bryce Young is a mobile quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback, bro. He a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't have the talent that he does not have the talent that the quarterback that just beat the Saints, Joshua Jobs, had around him to take care of the Saints. But you never know because the Bears didn't have that type of talent around them. They had DJ Moore and all that, and Cole Kmet, but there was supposed to be mid at quarterback. But the Saints defense, made them look really, really good. So, um, the rematch between the Saints and the Panthers is in the dome, so that should play in the Saints' favor. But you never know. But they should win this game, But this um the number seven ranked team on this list. It's a countdown. So I got Carolina at number seven. Number six, New York Giants. Um, a few years ago, the Giants beat the Saints in the dome when the Saints still had Sean Payton as head coach. They blew a lead. Um, they had a comfortable lead on the Giants. Saints got a little too relaxed. The Giants came back and beat them. But this year's version of the New York Giants, the 2023 version of the New York Giants, are not that team. They don't have Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley's not, having the type of year that we expect him to have. They're not really good on the outside on the perimeter in regards to wide receiver position. This is not a good team in general. Bad offensive line, defense is regressed. This is not a team that we saw last season that made the playoffs. So Saints should have no problem beating this team. Should not. It's in the game. It's in the dome. You don't have to deal with Daniel Jones and his mobility. Saquon Barkley, I mean, he could present some problems, but by that time, you never know. They might shut him down by that time just to do it because there's nothing to play for. So Saints should win this game. They should. Because this is the team. This is the same team that the Cowboys just blew it up by like 42 points, I believe, this past week. So Giants at number 6. Number 5, Los Angeles Rams. Now, this is a tricky game to me, man. I mean, since the schedule was put out, this has always been like a tricky game for the Saints, where the Saints could get tripped up at. It's on Thursday Night Football, short week. You traveling to the West Coast, play the Rams, team that you got some history with. I'm not gonna go into the details of it, but y'all know it's about the no call and all this other stuff that went down. The LA Rams. You played them again. You beat them last year, but this year, the Rams. I mean, if Matthew Stafford is still playing by this time, it could be some problem. It could cause some problems. You know, playoffs may or may not be in the picture for the Rams when they play the Saints that are around this time, but you never know. They got a wide receiver that's really good that can get at the Saints, and Puka Nakua. You got um, Matthew Stafford. Let's see if he starts. They signed Carson Wentz recently, so he may play, may not play. Got Higbee, the tight end. Aaron Donald still a factor with that team. So it's a game. I mean, this game could go in either direction. The Saints can win it or they could lose it. If playoffs are at stake for the Rams, expect this game to be hard for the Saints to win. You know, because when you know, when Stafford is good, when he is on his game, he's a really good quarterback, and that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? So something to look out for, something to pay attention to. They're not the Rams that won the Super Bowl in 2021, but they still have a really a solid roster that could give the Saints some fits and could possibly spoil some things by that time. So Rams at number 5. Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rematch, from the I believe they played them in the week after the Packers game in week 4. The Packers game at week 3, they played the Buccaneers. They came home and played the Buccaneers. Derek Carr was clearly not 100%. Tampa Bay dominated the Saints in that matchup, won the game, and at that time I believe, yeah, they took the lead in the NFC South because of that game temporarily. Yeah, 26-9, they defeated the Saints in that game. So you may be when this game is played on December 31st. You might be playing for the division. It depends. Because if you look at Tampa Bay's schedule, they're very much in it. They have a schedule that's identical to the New Orleans Saints. If we're being honest, because they play against the NFC South, they play against the AFC South, but they also play the San Francisco 49ers this week. So that game plays into the favor of the Saints because there's no way I see the Buccaneers beating the 49ers this week. No way. They play Indianapolis. They play the Panthers. They play the Falcons. And they play the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So by that time, if they can go, let's see. Well, this week is excuse me, they losing to the Bucks the 49ers this week. So let's see. They play the Colts next. After that, the Panthers, Falcons. That's 3. Packers 4. Jaguars 5. If they go like 4-1 during that stretch, 4-1, they go 1, 2, 3, 4. They go 3-1, 4-1 during that stretch, and they could be possibly be playing the Saints for the control of the division by that time. They play again on December 31st, which is also New Year's Eve. So it depends, man, because if the Saints ain't adjusted to what they did to what Baker Mayfield did in that first game, it's gonna be a wrap for real, man. And like I said, you can't really take nobody for granted on the schedule. You can't say like, oh, that's gonna be an easy game for the Saints to win. That they could beat that team because the way the Saints have been playing, you never know. Because you thought you was gonna get the team that we saw in Indianapolis for the remainder of the season, but the next week against the Bears, we didn't see that. And then against the Vikings, they had like the worst first half of the season. So you can't. This is gonna be an important game. So a lot could be decided by that time. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what the Falcons do as well. But if I had to say the two out of the two between Tampa Bay and Atlanta, I think the Saints could be playing the Bucks for control of the division, not the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? So I just think between Tampa Bay and Atlanta, Tampa Bay has the better quarterback situation right now to get them to the playoffs compared to the Falcons. Because the Falcons is losing at the last minute of games. That's what they've been doing lately. You know. So Tampa Bay on week 18, December 31st, the rematch and potentially a game for the division title, possibly. And 2-3, the Atlanta Falcons, man. I got this bowl game. This is bowl matchups. Week 13, the week 13 matchup, and the week 18 matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. These are the final two games. These are the final two games. These two games, similar to what happened with the Tampa, the Buccaneers matchup, could determine the NFC South. It just can. You know what I'm saying? So the Falcons don't really have a quarterback that can like tear up the Saints through the air. We soon did. The way they get things done is by running the football. This is a really good running team. You know what I'm saying? And they got two backs that the Saints will have to deal with. It'll be the first time they'll be playing in week 13 matchup. It'll be the first time they'll get a shot at Bijan Robinson, the running back out of Texas, and Tyler Algier, the guy at the back that they played against him last year. They had a really good performance against him in that matchup, to close out the series last year. So, um, it's just like the other games. The Saints can't stop the run. That defense could be on the field, for a long time, getting tired and drawn out. And I can see that Atlanta wearing down the Saints defense and setting them up for the play action pass, hit them down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Getting deep in Saints territory, score touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So that's a matchup that could, like I said, could very well determine the division. And the week 18 matchup is played in New Orleans, and there has been no time of when it of what there's been no time of when it will be played. So we don't know if this game could be flexed to prime time or it's gonna be played during that regular 12 o'clock kickoff. So interesting matchup, man. Interesting matchup. And the Saints should win these games, but you never know. You never know, man, because it's just despite the talent the Saints have, they've had a hard time beating these teams, mediocre teams. And then Atlanta, I think Atlanta's just a quarterback away from being really good. That's what I think. They don't have the quarterback to like really separate themselves from the Saints or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that might be changing after this year, though. So we'll see. Number one on the list, the Detroit Lions. Um, they're leading in at the NFC North right now, and I thought, just like I predicted, they will win the division this season, and they're clearly running away with that division, and could possibly have the number one or two seed in the NFC this season. And this is the game the Saints play after they're done with the Atlanta Falcons next week. They will host the Lions in the Dome. And it will starts off a 3 game stretch where the Saints will be playing 3 home games in the Dome. It starts with the Detroit Lions. And this is another test for the Saints, another huge test because you get to see where you're really at after the bye week when you play a team like the Detroit Lions. And the Saints have yet to beat a team with a winning record this season. They've yet to do it. They couldn't beat the Vikings, and they couldn't beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this game could possibly tell us a lot about the Saints as a team. It could show us if the Saints have gotten better in those areas that they've struggled with. As far as struggling to get off to a fast start, struggle to stop other offenses. You know, Derek Carr and his um chemistry with the wide receivers, is that up to par? Pete Carmichael, is his playmaking up to speed? Is he gotten better after the bye? What adjustments that he's made? We'll find out in this game. Because the difference between the Lions and the Falcons is night and day. This is one of the best teams in the NFC, while the Falcons are not that. The Falcons are just, like I said, they're a quarterback away. I think a quarterback away from being really good. They got the talent, but this Lions game will be a true measure stick for the Saints. And usually in the past, these are the type of games that the Saints usually get up for. The big games in the dome against really good teams. The Saints usually get up for these type of matchups. With Dennis Allen, we don't know. We don't know how well the Saints will perform this type of game. We don't really know. So we'll see how it's all gonna play out once the Saints come off their bye week at week 13 which is next week after Thanksgiving against the Atlanta Falcons on the road for the first matchup of the that starts off the Saints Falcons rivalry. So we'll see how it's all gonna play out. All right, so that's you all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. How you feel about the Saints final 7 remaining games? Do you think they'll get it done? Do you think they'll win the NFC South? What's your win-loss total to close out the season? Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the One Saints organization. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out. Who that?